Hi you guys, it's Amelia here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to this channel, we talk a lot about dressage and everything to do with dressage. Please subscribe and like, and also sign up for my free email list if you want awesome dressage emails. Today we're talking about contact and connection. What is the difference between contact and connection? These are two frequently used terms in dressage, and lots of people kind of think that they're the same thing, but they're actually very different. So to start with, contact. So contact is basically what you feel in your hand, or how the horse is in the mouth. It's basically what happens between your hand and the horse's mouth. That's contact. It can be, like I think of it, when you start a young horse, right? Some young horses are stiff and strong in the hand. Some young horses don't want to take contact. They want to be very light in the hand. Some horses don't want to bend. Some horses are strong in one rein or the other. So contact is basically just that. It's just the feeling that you have in your hand. Now, connection, on the other hand, is kind of the all-encompassing thing. Connection is the relationship of the hind leg through the back and to the hand. So I think of connection as like what we're training for. As we train, like we start with a young horse and we just start thinking about contact, getting the contact right. As we train up the levels to a Grand Prix horse, we're thinking about connection. So getting like the hind leg coming through the back, where you really, on a Grand Prix horse, you feel like you have the hind legs in your hand. So it's no longer just about like from your hand to the bit. It's actually from the hind leg through the back, that whole circle of energy. From the hind leg through the back and into your hand. That is connection. So these two terms are both really, really important. And obviously, you know, when you start a young horse, you're first just thinking about contact. You're trying to get the horse to just accept the bit, to kind of let you have a little bit of pressure in their hand, in your hand, and in their mouth, but not too strong. As you train up the levels, of course, you want that connection, the engagement of the hind leg, the control of the hind leg, the lowering of the hindquarters, all that stuff comes into the connection. So when I first started riding dressage, I remember being like so confused by this, because, you know, I had done some dressage and I'd done a little Western and natural horsemanship. And then when I got back into dressage and I was trying to train my first horse and, you know, get the contact and get the connection, I remember him just getting so stiff and so strong and just like 1,000 pounds in my hands, and kind of thinking to myself, like, this can't be right. And yet, you know, how do I get my horse on the bit? How do I get the hind legs engaged? And it's kind of it's a tricky thing. It's a process. But when you get the right connection, all of a sudden everything kind of gets soft and buttery, and you feel like this ripple of energy in a good way, that's not just pulling, but that the back and the hind leg are all swinging and coming through, and that all of that feeds into your hand and your elbows and your seat and your back. So it's kind of an elusive thing, the connection, but when you get it, it's like, it's amazing. So a few exercises that you can use to improve the connection. One of the best ones is transition. So in a good transition, whether it's a walk trot or a trot canter or a halt trot or a downward transition like a canter trot, you want the contact to stay the same. So like if you have 4 ounces in both hands and you do a walk trot transition, you should still have 4 ounces. Lots of times in that transition, the horse will want to open in the frame and get longer and pull a little bit on you in the moment of the transition, if they don't have connection. So if the horse is really connected from the hind leg through the back into your hand, you can do seamless transitions with no increase in pressure in your hand. Another great exercise to test connection is a stretch circle. So, you know, when you give the rein, the horse should seek the contact. They should stay in balance in the same tempo, and that's a test of connection, that you can give the rein and make the whole frame longer and that everything stays the same. So I hope these ideas help you. Just keep at it. It's a tricky thing, but I hope this gives you some ideas and some things to think about while you ride your horse. So happy riding, and I hope you guys have a good day.
Then it rewinds itself back to the start. I watch it over again. Could it really be the fact I never bought you a design?